Hey everyone, I hope you are doing well and having a great week so far. So I wanted to give you a bit of a recap on All Saints Day. Thank you for all the ideas that some of you posted on that video. I always appreciate your feedback and comments. So this year for All Saints Day, if you saw my previous video, my goal was to actually celebrate it. And I just wanted to be a little bit more intentional and thoughtful about my family's celebration of the day. It's funny, I don't know if you can relate to this or not, but sometimes I get all these really great ideas and I kind of pump myself up and I think, yeah, I'm gonna do all of these things and it's gonna be great, it's gonna be amazing. And that's pretty much how I was thinking about All Saints Day. I thought, oh, I'm gonna have this wonderful celebration. Everything is going to be so Pinteresty and cool and fun and my family's gonna love it and it's gonna be this great thing. And then real life sets in and sometimes we just don't have the time or energy to accomplish something that we want to accomplish. So that was the case for me when it comes to All Saints Day this year. And the other thing about it, and I tend to do this all the time, is that sometimes I think of these ideas somewhat at the last minute where I don't have weeks and weeks to prep and prepare for this grand idea that I have in my head. And that's essentially what happened with All Saints Day this year. However, I did celebrate it more than I normally did, and I tried to implement some of the things that I discussed in my last video, and next year I hope to incorporate all of them and be really prepared ahead of time so I can truly celebrate in a deeper way. Okay, so how did we celebrate? So for Halloween, like I said, we did dress up. We went trick-or-treating with the kids. We stayed out a little bit later than I would have liked to, but overall it went super well. We got to see some family. We went to our neighbors' houses, got to see some of our neighbors. It was fun. It wasn't crazy. It was raining, so it was not like we could spend hours and hours outside, especially with having a newborn, but it was a lot of fun, I thought, for our family. We ended up dressing up in a group costume, and I like doing that because I feel like it promotes family unity and is just a fun thing to do together as a family unit. So then for All Saints Day, I dressed up the boys in costumes during the day. I had Gio dressed up as Jesus from the image of the Divine Mercy, and then I dressed up Lumiere as Saint Michael the Archangel. A family member bought Lumi a dragon costume to wear for Halloween, but since he wasn't wearing it, I wanted to incorporate it in the All Saints Day costume, and that's kind of how I ended up with Saint Michael, because in a lot of the imagery, he's crushing Satan, and sometimes it looks like a dragon and stuff like that, so that's why I had the dragon element in there. And it was kind of a bummer. He was running around and things got a little bit crazy and he tried to eat the foil on the sword that I made him, so I really wasn't able to get any great pictures of Lumi in his outfit, but I had a lot of fun with it, and it'll be cool in the future seeing what other ideas I can come up with. Little Lumi, so he's supposed to be...
Hey. Come here. Come.
And the baby.
Yeah, I'm just wrapped up in this because, yeah,
Mari's working on hers.
Yeah.
Oh.
Divine.
Welcome home, Dad, to your little
Hey.
saintly children.
The Saints.
So like I said, I realized that my big, giant, grand plans for All Saints Day wouldn't all happen just because I was planning at the last minute. However, one thing I thought that was really cool was I dressed up Lumi and Gio in their costumes during the day, and then Mari came home from school. She's our 8-year-old, and she saw them in their costumes and she got so excited. She wanted to be a saint. And I guess I just wasn't expecting that. I mean, I guess I should have expected that because kids love dressing up and, she has fun with stuff like that. But she was so immersed with everything involving Halloween, and we had a bit of a struggle there with costume ideas and stuff, especially this year. And so I just thought she wouldn't be into it. And when she saw the boy, she was so inspired. She was trying to think of a saint that she could be, and we were brainstorming saints, and it was really cool. This is kind of funny. So she ended up dressing up like Mary, and I will insert a fun video here.
No, it isn't working.
We have a visitor.
I'm a foreign visitor. Hello.
Hello, ma'am?
Hi, do you have a spot in the inn?
Do we?
I suppose
we'll make some room.
Come on in.
Thank you.
What is your name?
Mary.
Aw, nice to meet you.
Mary with an I?
No, with a Y.
Why?
And it was funny because I thought she could have taken that same sheet that she had over her head, and I was thinking we could add some blue painter's tape stripes, and she would look very similar to Mother Teresa. And I had all these ideas for Mother Teresa, and she started getting excited. And then I showed her a picture of Mother Teresa, and she had no idea that Mother Teresa was like super old and wrinkly. And so she decided to be Mary instead. But even though I wish she would have embraced it. It was cool because she had a completely different idea of Mother Teresa in her mind, and then she saw Mother Teresa and was very surprised. And although I was disappointed in her reaction, what I thought was really beautiful about that moment was that it allowed me to have the opportunity to talk about just not judging people from being old or young, and not underestimating the difference that somebody can make by their age or the way they look. And so I thought that was a really cool moment that was unexpected for me. Just in dressing up my boys in fun costumes that were geared towards saints versus something more secular, it brought about these deeper, more rich discussions. And so that surprised me. I was not expecting it to happen like that. I just thought she'd come home and say, oh, that's cool, haha, and move on, but she got really into it. And then, as I mentioned in my other video, I really wanted to have some All Saints Day themed decorations. Our printer is actually broken, so I would have just printed off letters or a sign or something, but since I didn't have that, I took a Halloween banner that I had and I traced out the letters and then repurposed them to spell out Ora pro nobis, which means pray for us in Latin. So I thought that would be cute to hang up and everything. And I painstakingly traced and cut out these letters, and then I just ran out of time to put them on the string and hang them up and make them look more cute. But the good news is I have my letters, so I can make them cute and get them all prepared for next year. But I wasn't able to have any All Saints Day decorations this year. Okay, so dinner time was a lot of fun. We did family trivia, and then I also tried to come up with a bit of a themed meal. And again, I had all these grand ideas in my mind, and then the day came, I wasn't able to make it out to the grocery store, and so I had to get creative, and we didn't have tons of groceries at home. So I went through and found some food items and thought, okay, how can I incorporate this into the lives of the saints? And so here's my tip. If you ever are in a situation similar to that, pick out the food that you want to incorporate, then go on to Google. This instance, I was trying to get the food to mesh with something about saints. So sweet potato fries. I Googled sweet potato fries, Catholic saints. And one tip, these are called Boolean operators, I think, but you put quotation marks on the ends of the words that you want to ensure that come up in your search. And so you would do like sweet potato fries and Catholic saints in quotations, if that makes sense. So I do that so that now all my search results are going to have the terminology that relates to sweet potato fries or Catholic saints. And so something popped up that accredited a certain saint to the invention of French fries and sweet potato fries. Ding, ding, ding. Clearly, the sweet potato fries were inspired by Saint Teresa. And then as I continued to think about saints, I was just thinking, okay, which stories do I like? You know, I'm just racking my mind. And I thought about St. Lawrence. He was a martyr, and when he was being burned and persecuted for his faith, in a humorous way, he said, "Turn me over, I'm done on this side." And so he's known for saying that. And so I thought that that would be fun to do burgers for, because, you know, you flip the burger and make sure they're done on both sides. So, you know, kind of St. Lawrence burgers was what I thought would work. So we had fun with that, and again, it provided a bit of an educational experience. Now Mari knows about St. Lawrence, and then we also got to eat delicious food. And it was fun because I found some trivia questions about the lives of the saints online, and we did them at dinner, and we played a little bit of a game. And it was also cool because when we were done with all of my questions, she pulled out this book that we have called Bible Trivia, and she just wanted to keep going and keep playing. So that's really fun. And that's one thing that has always been an important belief to me. I think so many times we separate our lives from religion because our culture views religion as this, you know, personal thing that some people can have, and that's cool if you want. If you don't want, that's fine. Whatever makes you happy. Don't discuss that with people. Don't bring that anywhere else. If that's your personal thing, cool. Otherwise, keep it away from everybody else. And I think sometimes people have this idea that if you're devout in your faith, you can't have fun, you have to be boring, you have to be isolated from society. But you absolutely can incorporate many fun things into your life, being a devoted person, faithful follower of Christ. Sometimes you do have to get more creative because you might not find every game in the store or every decoration in the store, or your friends might not be doing it and you might have no idea where to start. But if you try your best to just slowly integrate these things into your life, slowly do a fun family activity, you can really start to see fruit from it instantly. So then after our dinner, we went to Mass. It was a great service, of course. And after that, we came home and went to bed, and that was pretty much it for the day. I wanted to do those lanterns so bad, but I just didn't have the time to go get the tea lights and the bags and to sit down and do it. But again, I have just under a year to prepare for next year, so I'll make sure that that's something I write down and just remember and revert back to in September or early October, so I have a little bit of extra time to prepare for that. I hope this video is a reminder to you to search for ways where you can incorporate your faith into your family life. And it doesn't have to be this big giant change. I know there are many families out there that are Catholic in name, but don't really practice together, don't really pray together. And I think sometimes it's intimidating to think that if we want to become a more devoted family, a more prayerful family, a family that truly incorporates our Catholic faith into our lives, that we have to make this big dramatic change, and that can be intimidating. So I encourage you to just take really small baby steps. Do one fun thing, one little thing each day or just this week that can ignite some excitement in the faith for you and for your children. Have a great day, and I will see you in the next video.